Hey guys, so just a quick little update. It's been a long week, a very long week. Started Sunday morning, woke up, was having some contractions, and was like, speaking of contractions, there goes another one. So I called the hospital, and they said, come on in. And I was there got in about 12:30, left about 8:30, so there for about 8 hours. It turns out Lucky Me has a bladder infection. Now, I have never had a bladder infection in my life. And after looking up the symptoms, I've had no symptoms of a bladder infection, so to find out that I had one was not what I expected. Put me on antibiotics for the week, which antibiotics and me never really mix very well. And let's just say they've been not cooperating this week. Yesterday, I woke up having contractions every 15 to 20 minutes. Some were stronger than others, but, they weren't getting closer together, they weren't getting stronger. It was just the thing. So we were monitoring that, and then I was having some other kind of icky side effects. So I called the hospital again. And they're like, yep, come on in so we can monitor you and see just what's going on. Because I'm scheduled for a C-section next week, so I just need to make it through a few more days until eviction. My non-stress test that I had this week on Tuesday morning went well, The contractions, they're not regular. Like, I wasn't even feeling half of them, but now I'm feeling every single one. Bug is still moving, heartbeat, passing the NSTs with flying colors, which makes me really happy. And I have to say, Squatch and I, Sunday night, middle of the night, having to call his parents to come and watch Little Man.
No,
we were so happy.
It's not my Papa's.
Okay. It was a good test of our props to see how ready we were for having Bug. I see you. You did a good job up there. Just watch what you're doing, okay?
I moved some stepping stones.
Go get your stepping stones then.
No, I probably got.
But we realized that the flaw in our plan was the in-laws. Because they just came. They didn't bring anything with them. They didn't bring in their medications. They didn't bring pajamas, anything they may need, just on the off chance that it ended up that Bug was arriving overnight or early the next morning. And when we got home, we lived 2 minutes from the hospital, so we got home by 8:35. And they're sitting at the table with Little Man. They're having their breakfast. And I just, kind of tilted my head because I was like, what? Because my mother-in-law was drinking out of this super random mug. My father-in-law had one of Little Man's old little, there's an 8-ounce glass that we had for him. I'm like, this is weird, but okay. I went across the street and picked up blueberry muffins and donuts and whatever, They always bring donuts when they come watch him if they're coming in the morning. But they told us that they didn't know where anything was in our cabinets. And we just said, if you open the other cabinet next to where you got those from, you would have found our actual adult-sized drinking glasses and regular mugs. And then there was you don't have any coffee. We said, I have a kettle, and in this cabinet right there has coffee filters, and a percolator. Just because we don't drink coffee regularly doesn't mean we don't have it. So we were just kind of like, what the hell? Open the cabinets, Open the fridge. You would have seen that we had milk in there, so you wouldn't have to buy milk across the street. And we don't drink milk regularly, so the fact that we had it was just so random because I bought it to make biscuits and gravy a week ago because we had a taste for biscuits and gravy. But we realized that the flaw in our plan was the in-laws because we cannot count on them to be ready and prepared with whatever they may need. So yesterday morning, actually, we were talking. We said, you know what? We're going to post it, all the kitchen cabinets with what's in which cabinet. So I did. And I said, well, I'm going to make sure that this one, in very big letters, says coffee filters, percolator, and then everything else, and just, this is where the extra paper towels are, this is where the regular kitchen towels are, change it out each day, throw it in the green thing. But we called my mother-in-law yesterday to come because we weren't sure just what was going on. And again, she came. It didn't bring a bag or anything with her, just her purse. And she said, well, if you guys were going to stay, I was just going to take little man back to our house with us. And me and home were like, no, that we don't want him going away. We want him to stay here. The house is 2 minutes from the hospital. Squatch will be coming home at night to stay with him because when you're a giant, the hospital couches don't quite fit you. And they're just not that comfy in general. So we said, no, the plan is he's going to stay here. The only reason he would go elsewhere would be if, for some crazy reason, Bug or I have to go to either the Eau Claire or Rochester locations of the hospital, because that's where they do, that's where they have NICUs and they take care of other problems, So, yeah, it's been a long week.
I'm at the same corridor.
Very good. It's not very stable, though, the way that you have it, so you might want to center your stones so the steps of the stool aren't right on the edges, kiddo.
Can I take some down?
You can leave them there, just move it around a bit. So we're just taking it easy,
Can I just move them?
No, that's not safe. Get down now.
I'm just going to sit.
Just sit. Thank you. So the plan now, we now have little man's booster seat is always in the house, just because if the in-laws do have to come, like if they want to take him to the park or run to the store, they can walk across the street to the store, but they want to run to the store, they have the booster seat so they can get him.
Can I get down?
Please get down. You're making me nervous, little man. For me, we're treating it like I'm on bed rest, even though I'm not. We just want to make sure that there's no major complications, that I'm not pushing myself too much. So we just want to make sure that no, that is definitely not safe. So we just want to make sure that we are on top of things, and it's yeah, I've got another non-stress test on Monday. Got to get another COVID test. It's not fun when they shove that thing up your nose to swab. And then we'll see how Monday goes. Part of me is like, it'd be great if these contractions just keep getting, like if they keep getting closer and closer, and they decide, we're just going to take the baby Monday, because I would be perfectly okay with that, because I'll be at almost 39 weeks, which is considered full term. And mother-in-law yesterday was like, well, why didn't they just take the baby today? So they will not take the baby before 39 weeks unless there is some medical reason to do so, because they're not considered full term. She didn't like that answer. She hasn't liked a lot of the answers and explanations that we've given her lately.
Does it work now?
No. And one of the things that Squatch and I were talking about too is, if she insists on taking little man to her house, no. That's going to erode a lot of the trust that we have with them.
Does it work?
Yes. As it is, we don't, they haven't watched him a lot. It's just been on the off chance that Squatch, last week he was out of town for a work thing, or he had to work early, so they came out to watch little man when I would run to my OB or midwife appointments. But yeah, it's getting real. Next to me on the couch here, I've got my setup. That basket won't be there when baby's here, but because the plan is after I have Bug, I'll be in hospital for 2 to 3 days because C-section, and then I'll be sleeping right here in this spot for several days when I first get home, just because it will be easier than having to try to lay down in the bed, get up, go to the bathroom, take care of Bug, whatever. Here, I can just even reach over and pull Bug out, or I have this really cool little what's it called? It's like a little cot, and Squatch calls it the coffin, the baby coffin, because it does kind of look like a coffin. So I can also put that on the couch right next to me and be able to pick Bug up, and then I could move the diaper stuff right into here. Good job, Mister. But yeah, so it's just the waiting game now, and it's frustrating.
A kingdom.
Little man's making a kingdom, apparently.
Kingdom.
Good job, big guy. And, like, I feel like an idiot, not gonna lie, for running to labor and delivery twice this week. But at the same time, when you're pregnant and you go to the bathroom and you're bleeding, you have a lot of questions, and that's what happened Sunday morning. And yesterday, like, I was just looking at the list of things that they said, and if you have any of these symptoms on this list, call labor and delivery or just come right on in. So I called because I said, like, I don't want to be home and then have something happen later and then have to call Squatch to come home from work. So we were able to take everything before I went to work. I actually took the day off, which was really nice. But yeah, so it's been an ordeal this week, and I just keep telling myself I only have a few days left. I have a few days left, and I will have baby Bug, and we'll find out if Bug is a boy or a girl. I'm really excited. We were joking this week because when they were doing the NSTs they have these 2 round majiggers that one goes on the top of your tummy, one goes on the bottom, your uterus, you know. The bottom one measures the heartbeat, the top one measures pressure in the uterus so they can tell when you're in a contraction or not. Bug was not cooperating with the heartbeat one. And I was like, oh my goodness, you are just like my late uncle. So if you are a boy, he will most likely be named after him, either first name or middle name, because this is just, oh my God, child, what are you doing? But yeah, so it's been fun. And I don't know how often I will be getting on here to do videos or quick podcasts or blogs after next week, just because I'll be adjusting to life with a newborn. And yeah, it could be really easy, it could be a big old pain in the ass, and I won't know until I have Bug and get home. So thank you for tuning in, and we shall be in touch again shortly.